I died, choking on my own blood. The metallic tang flooding my mouth as the EMTs pried open my garage door. Too late to save me from the carbon monoxide I'd accidentally pumped into my lungs. My father's voice echoed in my head from that godforsaken party just hours before. Brooklyn's generously signing over the family home, our legacy, to secure the future. Legacy? It was my blood, sweat, and the inheritance Mom left me before Dad's grief turned him into a vulture. And then, like a glitch in the universe's shitty code, my eyes snapped open, not to white lights or pearly gates, but to the goddamn vanity mirror in my childhood bedroom, staring back at a 25-year-old version of myself, heart pounding like I'd just run a marathon from hell. The date on my phone confirmed it. June 15th, 2018. 3 years before the party. Before the betrayal that stripped me bare and left me swinging from the end of my own rope, literally. If the cops bought Dad's suicide narrative. I was back.
众星,
as those Korean dramas Mom used to binge called it. But this was no rom-com reset. This was my shot at payback. American style, raw, ruthless, and riddled with the kind of moral gray that'd make a therapist rich. I gripped the sink, knuckles white, whispering, "Not this time, you bastards." The mirror fogged with my breath, but my reflection? Crystal clear. Eyes like daggers, ready to carve out the truth. That first morning back, I played it cool. Slipped into yoga pants and a tank top, padded downstairs to the kitchen where Dad was nursing his black coffee. The Seattle Times spread out like he owned the world, which, in his mind, he did. Our family home in Bellevue, Washington, was a McMansion dream, 6 bedrooms,
a pool out back,
and that $720,000 valuation from last year's appraisal that I'd memorized like scripture. Mom had bought it outright with her tech startup windfall before cancer chewed her up at 48. Dad? He was the charming sales exec who swooped in post-diagnosis, playing the doting husband while siphoning her accounts dry. By the time she flatlined, he'd convinced her to rewrite the will, leaving the house to the family trust he controlled. But I'd fought tooth and nail in probate, citing undue influence, and won it fair and square. Sole owner at 22. My fortress. Morning. Brookie, Dad said, not looking up from his stock quotes. His voice was that oily baritone, the one that sealed million-dollar deals at Microsoft. Big day at the office? Or you still chasing those pie-in-the-sky graphic design gigs? I poured cereal, the spoon clinking like a loaded chamber. In my old life, I'd bitten my tongue, smiled through the digs, built my freelance empire from the basement. This time, actually,
Dad,
I'm thinking of flipping the house. Market's hot. Could double my money. His head snapped up, eyebrows furrowing like I'd suggested burning it down. Good. Let the paranoia start simmering. The day blurred into reconnaissance. I drove my beat-up Honda, pre-upgrade, pre-everything, through the rain-slicked streets of Bellevue, past coffee shops buzzing with tech bros and soccer moms in Teslas. First stop, the public library, where I hunkered down with microfiche on Mom's death. Officially, pancreatic cancer, aggressive and untreatable. But I'd always suspected more. Dad's business trips during her chemo, the way he'd push pain meds like candy. I scanned obits. Hospital records, nothing jumped.
Yet. Then.
The real gut punch, a dusty file on a local cold case from 2015. Overdose. A nurse from Mom's oncology ward, found in her car with fentanyl-laced morphine. Ruled accidental. but whispers of whistleblowing on irregular prescriptions. My hands shook as I photocopied it. Was this the secret? Dad offing loose ends to keep Mom's suffering and his thefts quiet? Back home, I stashed the copies under my mattress, then texted my brother, Ethan. Dinner tonight? Miss you. In the old timeline, Ethan was Dad's golden boy, Wharton MBA, climbing the ladder at Amazon, married to that vapid influencer type, Lila. They tag-teamed the gaslighting, convincing me I was unstable after Mom died, priming me for the fall. But blood's thicker than lies, right? Or so I'd thought until the party, when Ethan stood there grinning as Dad announced my gift of the house to fund his charity foundation, code for Ethan's failing startup. Dinner was at our favorite hole-in-the-wall Italian joint, the kind with checkered tablecloths and Chianti that tasted like regret. Ethan arrived late, tie loosened, smelling of cologne and ambition.
Sis.
What's the crisis? You never call midweek. I forced a laugh, swirling my Pinot Noir. No crisis. Just reflecting. Remember moms will fight? How Dad pushed that trust bullshit. His fork paused midair, eyes narrowing. Ancient history. Brooke. We all grieved. Dad did what was best. Best for who? I leaned in, voice low. I found something today. That nurse, the one who OD'd, she was about to report discrepancies in Mom's chart. Fentanyl levels off the charts. Ethan's face drained of color, but he recovered quick, too quick. Conspiracy theories? Come on. You're better than that Reddit rabbit hole crap. He signaled for the check. But I wasn't done. Imagine if it got out. The headlines. Bellevue exec poisons wife for fortune. How's that for your boardroom cred? He grabbed my wrist. Hard enough to bruise. Drop it. Brooklyn. For your own good. The waiter glanced over, but Ethan flashed his megawatt smile. Family squabble. All good. I yanked free, heart racing with that old fire. This was the fracture point. In the old life, I'd backed down, let the doubt fester until it poisoned me.
Now,
I was the poison. That night, insomnia hit like a freight train. I paced my room, plotting. Step 1. Secure the house legally. Ironclad. Step 2. Dig deeper on Dad's finances, those offshore accounts I'd glimpsed in the end. Step 3. Turn Ethan. Or break him. But revenge wasn't a checklist, it was a tightrope. And one slip meant I'd plummet again. As dawn cracked the blinds, I made my first controversial call. Hacked Dad's email. Not some black hat bullshit. I'd learned basic phishing from a freelance client paranoid about corporate espionage. A fake invoice from his golf buddy's firm. Link embedded. Child's play. By noon, I had access. Buried in deleted items, correspondence with a shady Cayman Islands accountant. Liquidate assets discreetly.
B.
Unaware. B for Brooklyn. And there, the kicker, a draft press release for the party. 3 years out, philanthropist daughter donates family estate to Youth Foundation. Dated June 15th, 2021. They'd been planning my humiliation since now. Rage boiled, but I iced it. This was America, land of lawsuits and leaks. I'd play their game, but dirtier. First thread pulled. I forwarded the emails to an anonymous tip line at the Stranger, Seattle's alt weekly. Let the journalists sniff around.
Then,
I called a PI, ex-cop named Ramirez. The kind who didn't ask questions for $500 a day. Tail my father. Discreet. And check that nurse's case. As the sun dipped, I stood in the backyard, staring at the pool where Mom used to float on rafts, laughing. This house wasn't just bricks, it was her ghost, whispering justice. I'd avenge her.
Us.
But deep down, a whisper nagged. What if I became the monster?
Nah.
Monsters don't get happy endings, they get even. The next week blurred into a frenzy of double lives.
By day.
I was the dutiful daughter, pitching logos to startups in Pioneer Square, my MacBook humming with freelance fire. Nights, Ramirez's updates trickled in, Dad meeting Ethan at a downtown steakhouse. Whispers of the Brooklyn problem. Lila posting cryptic Insta stories, silhouettes of champagne toasts. Captioned family first. Always. I laughed, bitter and sharp.
Family.
What a scam. Then, the first crack, a call from the bank. MS. Hale, we've received instructions to appraise your property for transfer to the Hale Family Trust. My blood froze. Transfer? I hadn't signed shit. Who authorized this? The trustee? Mr. Richard Hale. Dad. Using some buried clause from Mom's will. The one I'd overlooked in my victory lap. He was testing waters, seeing if I'd fold. I didn't. Stormed into his home office that evening.
Printouts in hand.
What the hell is this?
Dad.
He leaned back in his leather chair, steepled fingers like a Bond villain. Precautionary. Sweetheart. Estate planning. You're young. God forbid something happens. Something like what? Me dying in my garage. The words slipped. Too raw. His eyes flickered. Guilt? Or calculation? You're paranoid.
Brooklyn.
Therapy helped last time. Remember?
Last time.
The breakdown after Mom. When he'd slip me Xanax like breath mints. I slapped the appraisal down. Back off. Or I go public with what I know. He chuckled. Low and mean. No, you know grief.
Kiddo.
Not facts. But as I left, I caught him on the phone. Double the surveillance on her. Now. Surveillance. The bastard was having me tailed. Game on. 2 months in. And the noose was tightening, metaphorically.
For now.
Ramirez delivered gold. Photos of Dad slipping envelopes to a Bellevue PD detective. The same one who'd ruled my suicide accidental. Bribe? Blackmail? The nurse's file had a new angle. Her talk screen showed traces of the same fentanyl batch from Mom's records. Coincidence? In my house? Hell no. I forwarded it all to a pro bono attorney. A firebrand named Elena Vasquez who'd made her name suing Big Pharma. This screams wrongful death, she emailed back. But proving it? That's a war. War it was. My controversial pivot, leak selectively. I created burner accounts on Reddit, r/Seattle, r/true crime, dropping breadcrumbs. Bellevue Family Secrets, tech exec and suspicious OD in oncology ward. AMA, views spiked, mods deleted. But screenshots spread like wildfire on Twitter. Ethan called, voice laced with panic. What the fuck? Brooke? You're slandering Dad. Slander requires lies. Little brother. Try truth. I hung up, then blocked him.
Cut the cord.
But isolation gnawed. Friends from my old life, pre-Trung Sin, were ghosts now. Timelines erased. I confided in no one. Not even my barista crush at the corner Starbucks, who I dated briefly before it all went south. Trust was a luxury corpse. Dad escalated. A family intervention at Thanksgiving, early, forced, with a therapist he'd hired. Dr. Hargrove, the same quack who diagnosed me depressed back then. We gathered in the living room. Fire crackling. Turkey scent masking the rot. Lila hovered, filming candid moments for her blog. Ethan shot me glares over mashed potatoes. Brooklyn, Hargrove started. Clipboard in lap. Your father's concerned. These online posts. They're self-destructive. I sip my wine.
Slow.
Self-destructive? Like pushing opioids on a dying woman. Dad's fork clattered. Enough. This delusion ends now. Delusion. I pulled out my phone, projected Elena's prelim report onto the TV via AirPlay, tech perks. Slides, timelines, drug logs, the nurse's obit. Gasps from Lila. Ethan's flush rising. Or is it the $2 mill you funneled offshore while Mom begged for hospice? The room exploded. Ethan lunged. You're ruining us. Dad bellowed for calm. But I saw it, the fracture. Hargrove stammered. This is unprofessional. Lila live tweeted. Family drama, tough love. I walked out into the November chill, leaves crunching underfoot like brittle bones. Victory tasted like ash. That night, tires screeched outside my apartment. Wait.
No.
I was still at the house then. A black SUV idled, headlights cutting fog. Surveillance. Heart hammering. I barricaded the door. Gun from Ramirez's contact. Controversial? In Washington? Barely under my pillow. Sleep came in fits. Dreams of Mom's last breath. Watch him. Baby girl. Dawn brought escalation. Cops at my door. Warrant for harassment. Dad's detective friend. Smirking. They searched. Found nothing incriminating. But the message landed. Back off or get buried. Elena advised laying low. But low wasn't my style. I countersued for defamation, citing the appraisal fraud. Headlines hit. Bellevue heiress accuses father of elder abuse in bitter inheritance feud. Controversy brewed. Paparazzi at the grocery store. Neighbors whispering. White trash drama over fences. Ethan cornered me at a neutral cafe. Neutral ground my ass. Stop this. Brooke. Lila's pregnant. We need the house for the nursery. Foundation.
Pregnant.
Twist knife. In the old life, that bun became my niece. The one I'd babysat while they plotted. Congrats. But the house stays mine. He leaned close. Breath mints masking whiskey. Dad didn't kill Mom. It was mercy. She begged him. Pain too much.
Mercy.
The word slithered. And the nurse? Loose lips. Ethan's eyes darted. Accident. But if you push, we'll say you forged it all. Unstable daughter. Seeking attention. Threat wrapped in velvet. I stood.
Coffee spilling.
Game recognizes game.
Bro.
But I play to win. From there, the tension coiled like a spring. I moved out, rented a loft in Capitol Hill. Walls papered with printouts. A war room. Ramirez uncover more. Dad's foundation? A front for laundering startup kickbacks. Ethan's venture? Dad's slush fund. The betrayal layered deep. Not just greed, but a syndicate. My decision. Go nuclear. Partner with a whistleblower journalist. Mia Chun from KUOW Public Radio. This could destroy lives, she warned over encrypted Zoom. Some lives deserve it, I shot back. The piece dropped pre-Christmas. Shadows in suburbia. A daughter's quest for justice in a family of secrets. Audio clips. My voice modulated. Spilling the fentanyl trail. Dad's denial presser followed. Tearful. My girl needs help, but the damage stuck. Stock in his firm dipped. Ethan lost a client. Lila's Insta went dark. But pushback bit hard. My tires slashed. Anonymous texts. End it or join her. Her.
Mom.
I doubled security cameras. Pepper spray runs. Controversial call number 2. Seduce info from the detective. Coffee date. Batting lashes over lattes. He cracked easy. Booze loosened tongue spilling dad's donations to the precinct. Blackmail gold. New Year's Eve. Alone in my loft. Fireworks popping over the sound. I toasted mom with cheap bubbly. One down. But the high faded fast. A call from Elena. Autopsy exhumation approved. But Brooklyn. They found something in your old talk screen. From the garage. Not just CO. My suicide.
What?
Traces of rohypnol. You were roofied. Roofied. Not accident. Not despair, drugged and dumped to die. Dad?
Ethan?
The room spun. Twist. It wasn't just greed. It was murder. Premeditated. My murder. January thawed into a pressure cooker. Exhumation day. Rainlash Cemetery. Me in black under an umbrella. Elena at my side. The casket rose like a nightmare. Dirt clumping. Lab rushed the samples. Fentanyl confirmed. Overdose levels. Mom hadn't just suffered. She'd been euthanized against her will. Dad's mercy was homicide. We filed charges. Bellevue PD dragged their feet. But public outcry, justice for Hale trending, forces motion. Dad lawyered up. Countersuing for emotional distress. Ethan ghosted. Lila posting prayer hands. I thrived on the chaos. Freelance booming from a notoriety. Badass Brooklyn, gigs rolling in. But the real storm brewed for the party. June 15th, 2021. In the old timeline, it had been my unmaking. Black tie affair at the house. Donors toasting as Dad unveiled my donation. I'd shown. Numb from their whispers. Signed under duress. Trust docs rigged with fine print transferring the deed. Then, alone.
The garage.
This time, I'd crash it my way. Prep was meticulous. Wire the house with nanny cams illegal? Sure. But fuck fair play. Coached Elena on shadows. And the ace, a forged invite. My name gold embossed. I'd walk in not as victim, but viper. As the date neared, doubts crept. Was this justice or vengeance? Mom's voice in my head. Be better, baby. But better got me killed.
No.
This was American Dream Redux. Pull yourself up. Burn the ladder if needed. The eve. I stood in my loft. Dress laid out. Crimson silk. Blood on silk. Mirror me smirked. Showtime. The morning of the party dawned muggy. Puget Sound haze clinging like regret. I slipped into the dress. Heels clicking like countdowns on the hardwood. My loft overlooked the market bustle, fishmongers hollering, tourists snapping Pike Place pics, but today, it felt like a cage. Phone buzzed. Ramirez. Hale's got extra security. Private firm. Armed.
Armed. Shit.
I texted Elena. Backup plan, leak live if I ghost. Then.
The drive.
Winding 405. Evergreens blurring. pulse sinking to true crime podcasts for courage. Bellevue loomed. All manicured lawns and McMansions screaming quiet desperation. My house glowed at the cul-de-sac's end. String lights twinkling premature. Valet took my keys with a nod. Inside, the foyer hummed. Caterers in black zipped with trays, oysters on the half, sliders oozing Gouda. Guests milled, tech titans in Tom Fords. Socialites air-kissing. Ethan's venture backers nursing scotches. Lila held court by the grand piano, bumps showing under empire waist, cooing to a circle of Botoxed wives. No Ethan yet. Dad, king of the hill, schmoozing by the fireplace, his laugh booming over jazz standards. I ghosted through. Champagne flute as prop. Eavesdropping. Philanthropy run, one suit murmured. Hale's girl footing the bill, class act. Class act. I bit my cheek. Blood coppery. Then, eyes locked.
Dad's.
Across the room, mid-handshake. His smile faltered, microsecond, but I caught it.
Panic?
Recognition? He excused.
Beelined.
Brooklyn.
Didn't expect you.
Miss the show? Wouldn't dream. I clinked his glass.
Saccharine.
Heard about the announcement. Thrilling. His grip tightened on the stem. Water under the bridge.
Come.
Let's talk private. He steered me to the study. Door clicking shut. Bookshelves loomed. Leather-bound lies. What game is this? Charges pending. And you waltz in. I perched on the desk, legs crossed casual. No game.
Dad.
Closure. Like you gave Mom. His face twisted, rage.
Raw.
She was suffering. I ended it. Peace. Peace? Or profit? I waved my phone. Recording app open. Fentanyl receipts say murder one. Bluff. He didn't know the exhumation results yet. Sealed till trial. But it landed. He lunged, hand clamping my throat. You little. Door burst. Security. 2 goons in ill-fit tuxes. Mr. Hale. Escort her out.
Now.
Chokehold lingered as they hauled. My nails raking his wrist. Bruise tomorrow.
Good.
Foyer chaos. Guests staring. Whispers rippling. Lila's eyes widened. Hand to belly. I twisted free. Voice carrying. Ask him about the nurse. Or my garage. Roofied to silence.
Gasps.
A donor dropped his cigar. Dad stormed out. Red-faced. Lies. My daughter's unstable. Unstable. I laughed. Mic'd voice booming via hidden AirPod feed to Mia's live stream. Like Mom? Or the $720,000 you're stealing for your foundation/fund. Pandemonium.
Phones out.
Filming. Ethan burst and then disheveled. Ty Askew from the kitchen. Flour on his slacks like he'd been stress-baking deceit. Brooke. Stop. Stop? Like you stopped the tail on me? Or the doc's forging my signature? I thrust printouts, appraisal fraud, emails from my clutch. They fluttered like confetti.
Damning.
He snatched one, eyes bulging.
This
is private. Private like killing your sister? The room hushed. Lila sobbed theatrically. Security advanced, but a backer, gray-beard VC, barked. Stand down. I want answers.
Hale.
Dad deflated. Rallying. Performance art.
She's
Grieving. Grieving. The hook. I circled him.
Slow.
Grieve this. Exhumation confirmed overdose. Not mercy, manslaughter. And my death. You drugged me. Left me to choke. For what? A deed. Murmurs swelled. A woman, donor's wife, gasped. Richard, is this true? He stammered.
Sweat beading.
No. Yes. Ethan's voice
Cracked.
He stepped forward, face ashen. It was me. The roofies. Dad said.
To calm you.
Make you sign. I didn't mean. Betrayal's knife twisted fresh. Golden boy.
Crumbling.
You. For the family. The baby. Everything. Tears tracked. Lila wailed. Controversy peaked. Fists clenched. A guest lunged at Ethan, restrained. Cops' sirens wailed distant. Mia's stream exploding hashtags. I stood amid the shatter, crystals smashing as someone hurled a glass, feeling hollow. Victory? Or void? Dad lunged again. But security pinned him. You bitch. This house is mine. Yours. I snatched the mic from my necklace. Amplifying. This $720,000 home?
Mom's.
Bought with her code. Not your con.
And tonight?
It stays mine. Chaos crested. Paramedics for Lila's stress. Faked. I bet. Arrests. Dad cuffed. Bellowing privilege. Ethan. Sobbing. Read writes. I slipped out as flashbulbs popped. Rain sheeting the driveway. But the night wasn't done. Alone in my Honda. Wipers slashing. Phone lit with notifications. Charges filed. House lien lifted. Mia. You okay? Elena. Hero. Hero. I pulled over. Puked into the gutter. Not triumph. Trauma's echo. Mom's face swam. Be better. Had I? Ruined lives. Exposed rot. Ethan's baby. Innocent collateral. Dad's empire dust. Controversial? Hell. It was scorched earth. Back at the loft. Dawn breaking. I poured scotch, single malt. Mom's brand. Toasted the mirror. We won. But the reflection wept. Trung Sin's curse. Second chance. Same scars. Weeks blurred into fallout. Trial prep. Depositions in sterile rooms. Dad's glare venomous across tables. You'll regret this. Girl. Ethan copped plea. Manslaughter accessory. 5 years. Lila divorced him mid-scandal. Custody war via TMZ. The house. Sold at auction. $850K. Proceeds to cancer research.
Fitting.
But the twist gutted. Ramirez's final report. A letter. Mom's handwriting. Tucked in Dad's safe. If I go early. No, Richard helped. My choice. Pain unbearable. Forgive.
Mercy.
Not murder. Forged logs. Dad's insurance. To cover Mercy killing legality. The nurse? She'd known. Threatened exposure. Dad paid her off. But stress OD'd her accidental. Doubt crashed. My war? Built on half-truths. Elena advised dropping charges. Moral gray. Brooklyn. But law's black-white.
No.
I pushed trial in September. Seattle courthouse swarming media. Opening statements. Prosecutor painted Dad monster. Defense. Tragic hero. My testimony. Raw. The garage gasp. The party ploy. A cross-exam. You profited. MS.
Hail.
Book deal whispers. Slander sting. Jurors shifted. Chow Treo. Dad stand. Silver fox broken. Voice quaver. I loved her. Ended suffering. Brooklyn. I failed you too. The drugs, Ethan's idea. Panic. Forgive. Gallery hushed. My turn. Rebuttal. Forgive? You stole my life twice. But inside. Fracture. Mercy or malice. Verdict. Guilty. Manslaughter. 15 years. Ethan, 7.
Me?
Acquitted of defamation. Truth shield. Outside. Rain again. Reporters mobbing. I pushed through. To a waiting car, Ramirez. Gruff. Proud. Kid. Numb. Months post-trial. Seattle winter bit hard. Gray skies. Coffee steam, the only warmth. The loft felt vast. Echoes mocking. Freelance dried. Trouble magnet stigma. Dates? Ghosted after Google. But Justice's afterglow lingered. Mom's foundation thrived on auction funds. Scholarships for single moms in tech. Her ghosts settled. Approving. Ethan's visits started tentative. Conjugals denied. But letters. Sis. I was weak. Dad's shadow. For the baby, our niece.
Now.
Name her after Mom. Attached photo, tiny rose. Lila's spite-spitting image. I visited once. Plexiglass cold.
His eyes.
Hollow. Hate me. Deserve it. I do, I said. But blood.
Pause.
Write her stories. Good ones. Dad, rotting in Monroe. Appeals denied. One letter. You won the house. Lost the family. Crumpled. Burned. New life sprouted tentative. Mia's podcast collab. Reborn. A daughter's reckoning. Episodes dropped. Listeners hooked. Therapy and shares. Dates resumed. A bar in Fremont. Craft IPAs with a sound engineer.
Jax.
Heard your story, he said. No pity. Badass. We hiked Discovery Park. Waves crashing. His hand warm. 种星? I joked. He laughed. Nerd. But yeah, second act's rule. Controversy lingered. Op-eds decried. Vigilante daughter. Feminists hailed Slayer. Book deal landed. Memoir.
Raw.
Advances bought a condo in Queen Anne. Views of the Olympics like promises. But the real twist? Spring bloom. Jax's proposal over dim sum. Ring simple.
Quartz.
Marry my mess? I quipped. Own it, he grinned. Wedding small. Beach at Golden Gardens. Salt air. Mia officiating. Vows. I died once. Lived twice. Choose you. Rose toddled aisle. Flowers clutched. Ethan paroled early. Beaming from back. Happily ever? American gritty. Scars itched. Doubts whispered. But in Jax's arms. Dawn light gilding. I breathed free. Revenge? Not end. Catalyst. Mom's whisper. Better. Baby. You did.
And damn if I didn't believe it.
Epilogue whispers. Years on. Rose asks. Aunt Brookie. Tell the story. I do, sanitized.
Strong.
Once. A girl fought shadows. One light. Fade to sound's roar. Roll credits.